A reading for Holy Monday from Mark's Gospel. Then they came to Jerusalem, and he entered the temple and began to drive out those who were selling and who were buying in the temple. And he overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who sold doves. And he would not allow anyone to carry anything through the temple. He was teaching and saying, "Is it not written, 'My house shall be called a house of prayer for all the nations'? But you have made it a den of robbers." And when the chief priests and the scribes heard it, they began looking for a way to kill him. For they were afraid of him, because the whole crowd was spellbound by his teaching. And when evening came, Jesus and his disciples went out from the city. This temple incident is more than anything what caused the death of Jesus, what made it inevitable. We cannot overestimate the importance of the temple. It was a magnificent building, one of the greatest buildings in the world at that time. Its significance was political, economic, as much as it was religious. Undermining the temple would inevitably threaten powerful influences, as well as bringing insecurity to many of the ordinary inhabitants of the city. Now, I had a fairly decent Methodist upbringing, and the pictures I was always given of Jesus was of a very kind Jesus. About the very first prayer I ever learnt began with these words, "Gentle Jesus, meek and mild." Well, let's be clear, that's not what we meet here. Instead, we meet an angry Jesus, a Jesus who is furious at the abuses that take place at the temple through the elite families who run the show. Abuses that mean that when pilgrims gather to buy their sacrificial offerings, they are ripped off with exorbitant prices. Abuses of exchange transactions, when money has to be changed from the imperial currency to the temple currency. A house of prayer for all the nations had well and truly become a den of robbers. A house of prayer has become not so much a light to the nations as an obstacle to the spiritual life of the pilgrims who travel there. A house in which the very gatekeepers, rather than offering hospitality, are instead practicing a sterile form of exclusion. These are things which should arouse fury. And Jesus gives us the green light to anger in the face of injustice. Our welcoming tables should be long enough to bid a warm welcome to all people. As one of my favourite hymns puts it, and puts it time and time again, all are welcome in this place. So there we are. This reading gives us a question. Are we hospitable to others in all their diversity? Do we bid everyone welcome? Because Jesus here is so passionate about this, that for this cause, he nails his own fate. Amen.